See some shit sticking to people's faces. Yeah, not quite a bubblegum, but to each their own. Hello, everybody. We're back. It's the Cave Trolls.
Episode 26.
It's almost like we never left.
Almost. This is 26, right? Like, we didn't put any of those other shitty ones up that we did by accident.
No, I made
25
sure
was
25 was labeled because 24 was our special guest.
Okay, cool.
We did one after that.
Yeah, then we just essentially went into stasis after that. You know, we've all
baby,
been hibernating.
A baby was born, and then we kind of just...
Baby was born by the North Star, and then we traveled hundreds of miles to give gifts.
See, I was busy preparing for the apocalypse.
No, I had a daughter, Kari. If you're watching this in a few years, I'm sorry. This is what Daddy used to do in the garage.
That was the apocalypse I was
And
preparing for.
hopefully is still doing in the garage. But a bigger garage.
One can only the biggest garage. You know, instead, we thought about maybe building an actual studio when we started to make money, but instead we just built a bigger garage. We are not good with our money. Please send us some.
Double-decker garage.
Double-decker garage. Oh my God, we can stack them.
You can fit 5 cars or 2 sound stages.
The biggest dreams come true. Stacking things.
You guys might have known that we do some things third-party wise in the background. We produce a couple other shows and pimp ourselves out to anything that'll pay us money.
Yep.
And I was recently asked what our soundstage was like, and I was letting them know some of our capabilities. They wanted me to set up a YouTube show for them, and then they asked her like, "Oh, so can I have the address? Can I come check it out?" I was like, "Oh, you've been there. It's my house." They're like, "Where?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's in my garage. You know where you parked your car last time? Yeah, that's now. That's now a soundstage." I'm sorry. It's not so bad.
It's not too bad. The Funky Fresh has seen it and they enjoy it.
They are the most high-profile guests we've ever had, and even they were kind of like really nice about it, but they were still, you guys recording in a garage? Or?
They like their styrofoam couch.
They did like our styrofoam couch. I don't know what's our, my wife picked that up on the side of the road one day, and it just sounds like it's got packing peanuts in it. So we're the Cave Trolls.
Woo!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cave Trolls podcast. Isn't that what I used to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
All those eons ago.
This is episode 26.
Yay.
Woo!
It's hard to believe we've been at this for 26 episodes.
It's easy to believe when you think that it's taken us 4 years to produce this one episode.
Yeah, that's true.
My name is Terry Smith. With me, I have Dave.
Hi.
And I have Jordan.
I'm always Jordan.
Is he always Jordan?
I'm always Jordan.
You're extraordinary.
Yeah, but I'm always Jordan, too.
So the other reason why it took so long is as soon as I had a kid and we started producing other content, you've probably seen the Cave Trolls Convos pop up once in a while, E3 was happening.
Oh, yeah, E3.
Wait, that's a thing?
It is still a thing.
Shit.
Did you watch any of the conferences?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Did you watch all of them?
Not all of them.
Did you watch Ubisoft?
I think so.
It was 4 hours long.
Wait, there's Ubisoft?
It was like 2.5 hours long. Mostly, I was just watching it to see all the South Park stuff, which was really cool. They made you think it was like a Division commercial, and they like threw you off. But it was really long and kind of boring. Microsoft's was fun. EA's was not fun.
Nope.
I don't give 2 fucks. I love Battlefront. I love Battlefield 1. That looks really, really fun. But I just was bored to shit. I didn't care at all after like 20 minutes. And then luckily Microsoft's was really, really good. They showed a bunch of really cool indie games and some other games I'm excited for. But the only thing that I want to talk about at all, period, since it's happened, is Sony's press conference. Partly because I'm a fanboy, but also because you keep talking about Nintendo and I just don't want to give you the chance.
Definitely won E3.
No.
You mean which way did they win? Was it because they showed Zelda for like 12 days straight, or was it because they showed Pokemon for like 12 days straight? Because those are the only 2 things I saw out of there.
That's all they needed.
I get that they didn't have a lot of games, so they had to pad it a little bit, but they just kept showing that Pokemon footage of like the new trainer avatar walking around in like the tall grass.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of the Pokemon actually.
You did though. If you saw
I did.
any of it,
I
it was
know,
just
it was
on
all of
repeat. And they showed it like they showed like 1 or 2 new Pokemon.
It's fine.
Out of like the 9 hours of footage. I mean, I play a lot of Pokemon, and people have made fun of me for it being like a time sink and that it's boring or whatever. But watching someone play Pokemon is the only thing more boring. Than playing the same 8 gyms.
No, I'll agree with you. Nintendo didn't win E3, and I mean, if you think about it, they said all they were really going to have is Zelda.
Oh,
so
they
they
did not
definitely lived up to the expectations.
I thought their whole like treehouse thing was cool, like all those different.
Oh,
like,
yeah, the set.
Yeah, just like the area that
They
they had.
definitely had the coolest set.
Oh, totally. And they do that every year. And that's why they do the Treehouse Live rather than an E3 stage.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They haven't been to E3 in a long time just because they do their own thing. And they have their Treehouse Live, and then they do their Nintendo Direct. And that's the same kind of stage they do. But and like you said, they did say they're like, we're only going to bring Zelda. That's the only thing we're showing on the show floor. If you want to play it, now is the time you can go play Zelda. But even with that, they didn't show me enough to get me more excited for Zelda. I'm the same amount. I'm still super excited for it, and it looks really good. It looks like it was playing well, and what everyone keeps saying, like, oh, it was awesome. But is it because we're tempering our expectations because it's Nintendo and because it's Zelda?
Probably a little bit. But at the same time, I think and I hope, it's more I hope than I think, but that they're kind of toning down with putting a lot of things out there and just trying to actually be successsul.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to just focus on that. But the problem why they weren't successful last time is they just didn't give us enough first-party stuff. Yeah. And since there weren't any third-party games, really, we didn't have anything to look forward to. We did get a good amount of games. People tend to forget about some of the good games that have come out on the Wii U, but there are a surprisingly staggering amount of games coming out, or not coming out, but that have come out, like Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros. Those are the 2 that I'm going to name because I don't want to list them all, and also I can't remember them all because there's not a large list, but there were a solid amount of games on the last console. But we haven't heard anything about any other titles for the NX other than Zelda.
And we don't know what the NX is still.
Exactly. And that's all we know. So even just from like an investor standpoint, I'm sure they know a little bit more than us, but really they should be worried. Like NX might blow us out of the water. They might announce NX and then 34 new first-party games. We're going to get Metroid 5, 6, 7, 8, and a new Mario Kart, a new F-Zero, a new Luigi's Mansion, any of those things, a new like overworld style Mario game, but they haven't said any of that stuff yet.
Nope.
So they come to me asking me to buy this NX with just Zelda.
On the day of my daughter's
Doesn't even take off his hat. That's,
I still don't understand with the Wii U and their pad how they never just thought of, why don't we make Pokemon Snap 2?
They don't.
Like, it's the perfect peripheral for them to use that for.
Nintendo's the sassy teenager of the video game industry. Like, you would think it'd be Sony with their edgy stuff or Microsoft saying, we're going to do games, all in-house and do our own thing. But really, it's Nintendo.
No, it's just Nintendo angst.
Exactly. They're like, we're not doing that. We want to make our own consoles.
We should call it the NA instead of the NX.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I just it just bothered me a little bit. But Zelda, all of my angst towards Nintendo's angst aside, Zelda did look really fun. So did Pokemon for the first 10 minutes that I saw it. But really, like I said before, Sony's is what I think won. If we had to put a winner on it, I would say Sony won just because almost none of their stuff leaked. While we did know about which one was it? God of War, kind of like with rumors. Yeah. We hadn't seen anything from it, and we did hear a little bit about Spider-Man, and we did hear a tiny bit about Sony Ben's game. That would be Days Gone. Previously titled, the rumor was Dead Don't Ride, which makes a lot more sense after seeing that now. Those are the guys who made Siphon Filter. Most of it, I really did not know what to expect when I was going through, and like they had the live orchestra there. I thought that was really fun.
That's why I was kind of worried for Sony at first going in. Because
I was like,
we haven't heard any rumors or really anything about what's going to happen. So are they going to have anything?
Exactly. I did the same thing. I was like, I tried to temper it, and then also there's like in an orchestra. I was like, oh, why? But then 10 minutes into it, I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. And then they showed God of War, which a lot of people you've seen. There's a really good write-up by Marty Sleva on IGN, and the guys over at Kinda Funny have said the same thing, is none of those guys were really big fans of God of War 1, 2, or 3. I liked 2. I played all of 2. Yeah. I played all of 1. I didn't like 1. I liked 2 a lot, though. Did you play any of those?
I played all 3. I liked all 3. I would say 2 is the best of the 3. And I mean, I know we talked in the past, and you said you weren't really about the story. I enjoyed the story.
It was neat. I love the mythology aspect of it, but a lot of it just seemed like, I'm Kratos and I'm angry.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like a 13-year-old's take on Greek mythology, which was fun though.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to
it
say
was
they didn't do
perfect
anything
being
wrong.
13 years old playing
Exactly.
that game.
No, exactly, and that's where I think I enjoyed it. Is once I moved past that, and back on the PS2, that was a really fun game. But the story just didn't hook me as much, and this one seems like
more adult.
It definitely does, and for reasons, everyone's grown up who made those games. They've all experienced new things in their life, and they want to aim Kratos to be a more multi-dimensional type character.
And everybody who's played those games have grown up
Exactly.
too,
And the other thing is, I love Norse mythology.
Right.
Well, probably more than Greek mythology, but they seem like they're going full head on into that. Like they had the snake that goes around the world. They had Loki in the background of one of the shots, and but the thing that I found neat about it was, and that's just because I'm a comic book nerd, so I hate when they throw out continuity.
Yeah.
And all of the other God of War games happen still. So Ascension 1, 2, 3 are all still canon. So Kratos gives up on all of that and then travels north, and that's when the Norse mythology stuff starts happening.
Oh.
Yeah, right. And that I found that really fascinating. A lot of the rumors think he's going to be Odin and his kid's going to be Thor, or somewhere along those lines. I think that would be interesting. Something like that. There's a couple other mythology type things going on with that, but I'm excited because they made me excited. I thought they did a good job of showing this is not the same God of War. It's still similar, but
his beard is awesome too.
His beard is the best part of this whole thing. The one thing that made me a little bit nervous, and that's just because I hate escort missions.
Oh.
I don't hate bald people. I just dislike bald people. It's different.
Afraid of them.
I'm afraid of them. They fear me because the sun bounces off them. They can direct it with
It's like a series of mirrors. Series of angry mirrors.
They had a thing where if you press the square button, you control his son.
Yeah.
And well, that might be cool. Like I really liked Last of Us with Ellie running around. One of the things I didn't like about Resident Evil 4 was having to, run around with the president's daughter. And as long as he doesn't hinder the experience, they try to do what they did with Ellie or Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4. If they try to make them so they're not an impediment in the battle zone, like if I'm trying to sneak, they're not going to give me away, and I'm not going to have to save the kid every 30 seconds. It'll be fun. But it just worried me since they have him mapped to a button that they might have to be more of an active.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Yeah.
Because the remastered version of Resident Evil 4, the president's daughter was not nearly as bad as she was in the original version.
Not so much of a
She was actually able to duck underneath your laser sight when you aimed over her.
Yes, I did. When I played it on the PS2, they added that.
Yeah.
It not quite as good as they did on the Wii, but it was still similar. They changed that up a little bit. And we've come a long way since escort missions back in those days. So I think if they put them into the game well, if they try, it won't be such a hindrance. What did you guys like most about the Sony conference and or E3?
I would say God of War.
Yeah? That was the big surprise for you. And like you said, you're more of a fan of God of War than me.
And
so
I
that
just
was
wasn't really thinking about it. So
that's the thing is we've heard about it every year. So it was like, when are they going to finally reveal it? And then we just kind of let it go back a little bit.
It was the PS4.5.
Oh
God. Oh, God.
I'm glad they didn't show it. A lot of people are a little bit little angsty about it. I'm glad they didn't show it because I think it's a bad idea. I like the idea of a Sony PlayStation being able to play 4K, but everything else they're trying to tack onto it. Let me keep my PlayStation for 7 years. I liked that idea. I have a PC. I upgrade that every year. That's what that's for, though.
That's where the money goes because you already spent the money on the PS4. Why get another one?
Exactly, and I have my Xbox One. And same thing, like I don't care about the teraflops that are going to be on the S edition or the Scorpio. Yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm not going to buy the Slims, the Xbox S or Xbox One S or whatever, and I'm not going to buy the Scorpio. I doubt that I'll buy the Neo /4.5/4K. I don't care. I can't afford a 4K television. Can most people afford a 4K television right now?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they're marketing towards. Who is going to have that money?
I don't either, and I think it's a smart move maybe more on Microsoft's part because they need to sell more consoles because they're losing the race. So this could be their thing. I don't think Sony should do it. I think they should be the ones who double down. PS2 was a weaker thing than the Dreamcast, and it sold better.
Yeah.
It
sold a shit ton of PS2s.
Same thing with the Xbox and the GameCube. It was weaker than all three of those consoles, and it won out by far because they just stuck to their guns. And I think that's what they should do here because PS4 is already winning. And now that they finally have first-party games coming out on a more regular basis, why jeopardize it with a 4K thing? So I was glad that wasn't there. I know it's still coming, and PSVR is on the way. I'm glad they didn't do too much with VR either, because that's another thing that I'm not gonna buy. Like I think it'll be fun. I think future, like, exactly.
We would totally buy it.
But I don't have another $400 to buy it. You know, I don't have that to spend. And I think people get that. That's kind of what this show is, you know, we're like, you know, we're working class people / homeless people. And so we can't just buy everything. We try as we might, you know. One thing I will buy day one is Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
A Horizon First Dawn, or was it not Horizon First Dawn? No. Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn. Days Gone, maybe, if it ends up being good. I was kind of bored by the story aspects of that. I don't know. It was just a dude on a motorcycle. It reminded me of Sons of Anarchy. And that's another show I don't watch. So.
I don't watch it either.
So
what about Kojima?
Okay, so I love Metal Gear Solid. I've sunk so many hours into Phantom Pain and several other Metal Gear games. Mostly the one on PSP, Peace Walker. I played the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
That's because that was like one of the first, like, you know, it's portable. So I could play that nonstop. And then 3, Snake Eater's my favorite.
Snake Eater's my favorite.
Exactly. And I loved the PT teaser that they did. I thought that was really cool. I guess that's kind of a redundant, you know, it's playable teaser. That's what PT stands for. Do you know what I'm talking about? The scary hallway simulator that they did on PS4?
No, I didn't see that.
No, you haven't heard anything about that?
No.
Oh, man. I forget sometimes the rock that you are placed under.
It's very large.
That you then live in.
I can't lift it with these arms.
It was like it was then led to be revealed that it was going to be Silent Hills. It was going to be the new Silent Hill chapter, and they were going to let Kojima do it. It was going to be first person. It was going to be scary, and that's kind of what they're going for with Resident Evil 7, which was also announced there, which looks cool in the VR experience. I like that, but other than that, it was Norman Reedus with some dead whales and a baby.
Yep.
And everyone was naked.
It was emotional though.
I mean, sure. I liked him in Boondocks. I don't watch Walking Dead. I love that Kojima's back. I like that he's not working for Konami anymore.
Yeah.
But are we ever going to see this game?
When I watched that trailer, I'm like, okay, I see that he's very emotional about what is going on, but I have absolutely no frame of reference. None at all.
And no one does. And
I just loved when he walked on stage. It was just a great feeling.
I think they should have just did that.
Yeah.
Not showed the trailer. I think
like,
he should have just walked on and be like, I'm back.
Like,
exactly.
Is the baby him?
That's it.
I think the baby represents Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And Norman Reedus, of course, you know, because they are so much alike, represents Kojima. And then the things floating over, you know, are Konami. And then the whales are maybe like Silent Hill or something like that. Some sort of imagery. You want a full write down, like go read the internet.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I mean, it'll probably be good. I think it'll be good. I just don't think we're going to see it for the next 10 years.
No.
That's going to be a PS5 launch title.
PS 5.5.
5.3, like Kingdom Hearts, which was noticeably absent. That bothered me a little bit. I knew I wasn't going to see it. They said we weren't going to show it.
Oh, yeah.
And then they showed a more FF15 at the Microsoft one and at Sony's. It honestly looked worse. I don't know about you guys. I know partly it was just like people were playing the boss fight kind of shittily, but it kind of ruined some of my excitement for that. And then they showed like 25 minutes of them flying in their car. I don't care. I get it. It flies. One thing that bothers me is if it can fly, why am I ever driving it?
Well, you have to unlock the limit break.
If I have to unlock it, I'm going to blow something up. Why? Why? Do I have to go around collecting the wings for it? This is stupid. I went in so excited for this, and fucking Square Enix has been nothing but crush my spirits. Other than Bravely Default, I love that game, but they've done nothing but like crush me for a long time. They're not bringing any of their games to fucking Vita.
I am still pumped for FF15.
I'm still excited for it. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. I'm still buy it day one.
I'll watch you guys play it.
I think you would enjoy it. It's more of a Western RPG, and I know you don't play a lot of JRPGs, and especially not Final Fantasy. Have you played some, but you've never beaten any of them, right?
Yeah, I've never beaten them. I never got that into them.
Right. So you also probably don't give a fuck about Final Fantasy 7 then.
No.
What about Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts is.
You're a big Disney fan.
Yeah, I think it's more fun just because of the Disney aspect, but I still haven't beaten the
You still are just kind of like, no.
I'll stick with my MMOs. I'll go play DMO later, you know.
I mean, exactly. You can go play Digimon Online. What about FF14? That's a MMO. Anything there?
I never played it, so.
Maybe when we were not all broke, we could give FF14 try. Okay. I'm a fan of it. I like playing it. Dave played through some of the tutorial mission.
Yeah, I played through like 25 minutes of tutorials. I'm like, wow, I don't need this right now.
Though
it's all about the end game, Dave.
It is all about the end game. Actually, it's all the story. The story is probably one of the best Final Fantasy stories I've ever played, which means nothing to you and something to you. I think it's really good. I
enjoy an MMO if it has a good story before like the end game, but generally MMOs are about the end game.
What about RuneScape? You played through the entire tutorial of RuneScape?
I did.
Twice.
Yeah.
We did that recently.
It was something.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that.
The tutorial now is just stupid.
Yeah, you follow the dwarf guy and he.
Yeah, I really miss Tutorial Island.
Tutorial Island was the best. Just vanilla RuneScape, man.
When you land in that first city, what is it?
Lumbridge.
Lumbridge. Yeah.
RuneScape for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't play that, guys.
And after what 10 years of not playing it, I remembered exactly where Varrock was and how to get to whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how your brain works.
Me neither.
The other day I asked you, I don't remember, what was it? Like, oh, what'd you eat for breakfast? And then you just stared at me for 25 minutes.
What is breakfast?
And then you said pancakes, which was wrong. It was not what you ate. There was no pancakes.
I had a glass of milk. I'm allergic to
milk. Horizon, I don't know if we can say anything more about Horizon. I think we're all excited for that. That looked awesome. It's robotic dinosaurs and dragons and big birds.
And you're basically like this like tribal cyberpunk Merida.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. And maybe an alien.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
With some of that stuff. I'm super excited for that. That's going to be awesome, so not much needs to be said about it. Something I do want to talk about a little bit is Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man 1, hands down.
Like, even though it showed like two minutes of...
Hands down winner for me. I was like, hey,
just like actual... Just gameplay.
They said it was running an engine, and some of it might have been beta gameplay, but they don't know.
Okay.
Like they haven't said anything much. What they did say later on Twitter is that it was 100% playing in engine. Mm-hmm. It was on the normal PS4, not the 4K or anything like that.
That's what I read.
Yeah, and that it will be coming out within the next this generation kind of thing, like the next 2 years. We'll probably see it like February, of 2017, along with all of the other games. It's going to be a slow year until
play some Spider-Man, and then a few months later watch Spider-Man.
Man, exactly. I mean,
they don't tie together at all. But
no, but still.
But it's
and then when you're done with that, you can read Spider-Man.
No, you're always reading.
You're always reading Spider-Man, Dave. That's the one rule of the Cave Trolls. We never stop reading Spider-Man.
Reread Spider-Man.
One
there
rule.
You go. One rule.
Everybody gets one. Did you like his suit? He kind of looked like it was like Captain America style.
I liked that white.
I like the white. I did have some problems with it overall. Sorry, but I did like the white symbol. I thought that was neat. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of Ben Reilly's Spider-Man costume, the one that like Spider-Girl wears, and kind of what they did with James Garfield's Spider-Man a little bit in Amazing. But it's its own thing, and while it had a lot going on, that's the only thing I would say would a takeaway for it. I still think it looks awesome. I'm super excited. I know the Sunset Overdrive team isn't working on it at Insomniac. They've said that, but Sunset Overdrive did show that studio at least has the capability to do an open world game rather than
with
Ratchet and Clank or something
style too.
Exactly. Those guys aren't working on it, but still it says something that they would allow that to happen.
Yeah,
and they get what we want out of an open world. You want movement. You want speed. You want that realistic feel around the city.
You want to actually be able to go through the building.
Running on the tables, and then he jumps off the pillar. I really hope that's in the end game, the finished product when it goes gold, because I want the parkour feeling of it. I really like that.
Natural parkour,
like and I hope
whatever you kind of want to do.
Exactly.
I hope it's not just a sequence; it's just a real part that you get to do whenever you want. Not necessarily every building, but
yeah, if you know there's a building that you can go through, I can swing through that, maybe lead somebody through it, and. It's a newer system, I don't have to have all of Manhattan. I just need it to look and feel fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to look that amazing, which it did look good. It looked really good. I just want the momentum part of it. I want swinging to feel good again.
Just give me Queens, and I'll be fine.
And especially since Marvel's backing this, and since it's not a movie, they have all of their properties. Right. So I'm guessing we're gonna see cameos again, like Ultimate Spider-Man. You raced against Human Torch, which were probably the worst missions, but it was still fun. It was still cool to see those people. I think we'll get a couple of those. I think the Captain America thing might not be too far off. Since you have the Iron Spider, inspiration from Iron Man, this could be the Captain America inspired.
Yeah, it's going to be the All-American Spider.
Well, I mean, maybe something like that, because they said this is a more seasoned Parker.
Or the Star-Spangled Spider.
God. I like that name, though, the Star-Spangled Spider. They did kind of show a couple of hints that this is going to be negative. Is it Negative Man?
Yeah, I did hear a little bit of that.
And I did a little bit of research on him. Apparently not enough, since I don't remember his name. But the demon masks that they showed, and they've showed it in a lot of the rewind trailers from all the different outlets, that those definitely match up to the again, as Negative Man? Negative Man's like demonic army.
Yep.
They wear the masks and stuff. So that'll be interesting, because it's not Green Goblin over and over again.
Yeah, thank God.
Exactly. I do hope they do something with Vulture, even though he's going to be in the movie. He's just such a good idea for an open world enemy.
Oh,
because he can fly. He's in the full, X, Y, and Z axis of trying to catch him. I think he would be good, and we haven't really seen him in any of those games.
And Vulture's just fun.
He's just a fun enemy. He really is.
Now, do you think they're gonna have it so you have to have an actual anchor point for your webbing?
I think so. I think they learned way back on the PS2 when they did Spider-Man 1. Yeah. Like 1 and 2. But 2 kind of you did have an anchor point. It just wasn't as important. Right. It always went there. But 1 just went straight up into the sky. Same thing with the one on the PS1. And then Ultimate Spider-Man made a big deal about the anchor points. Like you actually swung at that angle and stuff like that. And Beanox did that a little bit with some of their games.
Yeah.
It just wasn't done the best. They had their chance. They did a couple of good ones, but their open world ones, while okay, had the really shitty Arkham-esque combat, and it failed a little bit. But they weren't terrible games.
No, they weren't. I had lots of enjoyment playing Amazing Spider-Man 1. It was a solid
It was one of the better movie tie-ins.
Yes.
Definitely.
It was like a solid 7 hours that I had plenty of fun with.
And I would say it was a solid 7, maybe a 6 when it comes to score. Like, it was a good game. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Maybe an okay game. There were a lot of knocks against it. I liked what they did in 2 with the left and right triggers, how it was your left arm and your right arm.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that was fun. They did that, but I think this one, like I said, this one's going to focus on parkour, and we're going to get a more in-depth parkour system. And it's going to go back to the PS2 era where, I think tricks matter in the air. Tossing that
You mean Parker Parkour?
Parker Parkour? No.
Doing your spin flips off of the lampposts and kicks off the wall.
See, that's what I want. I want to be able to jump off the wall and then web. I think that'll be fun. They have added parkour into a lot of games. A lot of it's just holding up.
Yeah.
And that bothers me. And even Uncharted, which I love, it's one of my favorite games, that gets old after a while.
Hold this button and walk up.
Exactly. I did 7 op-ed pieces just about press up on the thumbstick and how that got really old really fast, and a lot of games adapted it. And while it makes it look cool and things more fluid, I'm not controlling the character. I might as well be watching it happen.
It takes no skill.
Exactly. And I think Uncharted 4 did a better job of kind of adapting that a little bit, where they added different trails. So, you're pressing up, and you have to jump, and you have to grab once in a while. But there were different paths you can go on, so you have to kind of go back and around. So they made it a little bit more dynamic. Tomb Raider does a pretty good job of doing other things while there being only one path. So while it does fall into the same category, I think they fixed that up a little bit. So I think Sony will, especially since it's not in-house at Sony, but Sony, is producing it and Insomniac's making it. I think they'll have a good chance of making it a good game. I think that they'll focus on the right things. So not just how many, product placement tie-in ads can we do to this. It's making sure the swing looks good. I think it'll be good. I don't know what more I can say to that without saying it'll be good 400 more times.
I'm getting it'll be good.
Maybe. It might be. And
we'll play it either way.
That's the same time. We will buy it, and we will perpetuate the cycle either way. Was there anything else that you guys really liked from E3 that I glossed over too much? You want to argue about Zelda some more?
Zelda won E3.
Zelda did not win E3, but it looks good. I'm excited for the open air aspects of it.
I was about to yell at you.
The fuck does that even mean?
I don't even know. I just think it's funny when I saw that, and
it looks like the old top-down games, not in the perspective wise, but that you can hit any dungeon in any order.
Yeah,
and
I
you go
did,
fight the end boss if you
I
want
did really
to.
think that was neat that it was harkening back to that type of game.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the other games like Ocarina and Wind Waker are two of my favorite games of all time. I think that taking more inspiration from those other games is a good idea because those really embody the mentality of open world games nowadays.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call them open air games or not, the open world games that let you, even if it's not whatever you want, it's the player agency. I want to fight this boss first. Let me go there.
You choose your direction, the path you'd go down.
Exactly, and one of the things in Zelda, you can take the torch and burn down the bush and go fight like the second to last hardest boss in the whole game if you wanted to.
There's more of a survival aspect with it too.
Exactly.
And
so
even though it's not necessarily going to be a next gen game, as in like the HD quality, as far as we know, I mean, based on what we saw, I love the art style.
Oh yeah, the art style
part
looks
of the
neat.
reason
Yeah,
it doesn't look as like.
It looks pretty as hell.
Yeah, it looks pretty. It was just more like the animations, I suppose you could say. You know, it definitely looked. I feel bad saying it in like a derogatory way, but like it looked Nintendo-esque,
Yeah.
Like the way Link moved and strafe, it did not have that next gen. Oh, he's actually walking. It was very slidey, and like you were saying, like it's not done yet.
Right.
There's still plenty of time for it to go, but it did like you were saying, it just next gen quality, style wise and visuals. If it was a still image, yes, but the animation wise seems like there's still a little bit of something that needs to be tweaked or worked on,
especially with like the nature aspect. You can kind of tell like the way it flows isn't next gen high quality.
Right.
HD.
There's not 100 different systems directing the birds,
Right.
which makes me like both afraid that it might not be as good because they didn't focus on things, but also less afraid
because
otherwise
they
because
focused on other things.
Exactly. Maybe they really wanted to make combat look and feel really good, or maybe they wanted the bosses or the items to matter.
Right.
Any of these things could be
survival
true.
aspect along with the combat and gameplay.
Exactly. And I always come back to this though. We're already making excuses for it. Is it just because we love Nintendo and Zelda so much that we want these?
I mean, I'll tell you that it's because I love Zelda.
Right.
That's why. I mean, I'll never say that there's a terrible Zelda game, even though everybody hated Skyward Sword. And
I did dislike.
Generally, everybody hated Twilight Princess, and now
I like Twilight Princess.
I know we both loved it.
And same thing's gonna be said for Wind Waker. When Wind Waker came out, everybody hated Wind Waker. They're like, "Why does this look like a cartoon?" And Wind Waker is one of the most revered ones of all time now.
Exactly.
See, I wasn't even a Zelda fan when Wind Waker came out,
Me
and
neither.
then I played it. I was like, I need 20 of these.
I liked Ocarina of Time and I liked Majora's Mask, but I hadn't played every single Zelda like I had now. I had them on the Game Boy and I liked them, but not because they were Zelda games. They were fun Game Boy games. I didn't give a fuck.
I had played Ocarina of Time and got stuck on the second dungeon 3 times.
Yeah. See, I'll say that like Phantom Hourglass. And,
yeah. Those aren't all amazing. No.
Some of the earlier DS ones, they're not that good, but I still enjoyed them.
I was fine with them until they made you do the swipe.
Yeah.
I hated the fucking swipe in Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks,
Spirit
and
Tracks, yeah.
a couple of the other ones. I loved that they were still the art style from Wind Waker and stuff like that, Minish Cap and all that. But quit making me swipe. I don't want to do that. It has buttons. I use the touchpad for WarioWare and WarioWare only.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Just put the map on the touch screen and I'll be fucking fine.
The same thing goes for a lot of the Wii U games.
Yeah.
Just give me the map on there. I don't give a fuck that the controller weighs 100 pounds. I don't want to have to look down every time. Don't make me move it around. It's a fucking workout in all of itself.
Exactly. The only thing I would like with that is just to use that to play and be able to look down at the map or like the start map.
Yes.
That
Give
would be
me
perfect.
more useful information on it. But sadly, that's not what they did each time. Mario Kart 8 is especially grievous. They don't have like a reverse mirror or they don't have the map on it. What the fuck are they doing? Like you said, Pokemon Snap on the Wii U would have been a good use of it, but they didn't do it.
Would have been fantastic. You know how much like nostalgia money they would get from that?
Nostalgia money? What's
Yeah.
nostalgia money?
I have nostalgia money.
What's nostalgia money?
I don't know.
How about $1.95?
Yeah.
Money from people buying the game because of nostalgia?
Sassy, I think we need to put him down for a nap. I was waiting for you to either make a baby noise or murder me.
Well, I was gonna poop, but you distracted me.
You can do it, buddy.
Not when he's under pressure.
I'm sorry. I didn't
Content's
do
under
that.
pressure.
When he poops, do we put it in like a pressurized tube and then seal it like a pop can?
Shake it up. Make sure you turn your.
How did this go into us pressurizing Dave's poop?
I have no idea.
How did we get there?
I didn't even start
it's
that.
It's a long day. I worked today. He ran today.
I did. I ran like a half a mile, maybe a mile. I ran around the block.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much. I'm
you
getting
ran
so
from
fat.
the garage door to the front door.
And then to the fridge because I needed to eat something. I was looking at the videos. You can see how much weight I put on from like the beginning of Cave Trolls, and then I lost some weight, and then I put on even more weight afterwards. Now I'm like, I ran like a mile and I'm about to die.
I think the weight that I put on was mostly the time that we didn't do some of the podcasts.
I think it's the pressure of having to be on camera for all 37 of our subscribers. Thanks, Mom.
They're ruthless, man.
They're a very demanding 37.
We need content, damn it, content. Other than E3 and Baby, we've been playing a lot of D&D and GURPS.
Mm-hmm.
So much D&D and GURPS.
We'll
so
definitely
much.
talk more about D&D on our
On the
podcast.
next couple podcasts, it'll be all D&D probably. Yeah. So if that's not what you like, you can probably tune out a little bit. But, come and check it out. We have fun the way we talk, people might enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, one more thing we could probably talk about a little bit about because so far not a lot has
Don't say one more thing. People have yelled at me for saying that because I say one more thing every time.
I'm gonna say
and then we go into 10 more things.
That's fine. They're going to see that it says one more thing. And
so they know it's 10 more things.
They're going to know that, and they're going to see that it's another hour long. So that's their fault.
We should just make a Cave Trolls t-shirt line that just says one more thing.
One more thing. I was just going to mention, the Steam sales started earlier this week.
Did you buy anything yet?
I haven't bought anything yet. I mean, most of the stuff that's on sale I already have.
Some of the people that I talked to on IO9, one of the rules that we were all stipulating is that we don't buy anything that's under 50% off. Mm-hmm. And if it's not 50% off, it has to be at least $10 or below. Mm-hmm. So if it's 50% off, you can consider it. And if it's not 50% off, it has to be at least $10 or less. Yeah. And I think that's a good rule to follow. Otherwise, your wallet will disappear every Steam sale. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also one of the things I just didn't see a lot that I didn't already have. I was going to pick up H1Z1 just because I haven't played that in a long, long time, and that was on another account. And King of the Hill has come a really long way. Oh, yeah. That looks like it's really developed. So I love the main game. I just didn't like being killed so often, and that's what it was. It was a single life thing. I didn't have people to play with because you guys didn't play it yet. So I thought about returning to that and playing King of the Hill.
I mean, the only two things that I've seen that I was thinking about getting was Arma 3.
Yeah,
just because I have a couple friends that have been bothering me about it.
Hell yeah,
play it.
That's it's intense, man. You think the people who play Counter-Strike are intense? Fucking Arma 3. That's a
Counter-Strike, but more intense.
When you can you play Arma 3 without Counter-Strike? Do you have to have the?
I don't think you need to.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if it included it because it's based off the Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? It's like it was a mod for it.
I mean, they have Arma 3. Last I checked, it was on sale for like $20.
Okay, so it probably
and then they have
you probably don't have to worry
a
about
full thing with all the extra DLC mods and stuff for like $50 or something like that right now. The other thing was Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Don't you have all the Binding of Isaac?
I have all of them but the newest one.
Okay.
But I was thinking about getting that because that was on sale too.
After the first two, I go through them in like 10 minutes. You know exactly really what to do.
But
you unlock all the characters. You watch his mom try to kill him 100 times.
That's just what got me through high school.
Binding of Isaac? That's a really dark game to get you through high school.
Well, we put it on the computers and let everybody access it.
Okay.
I got in trouble for it, but it was fun.
We did that with WoW. We would run it off an iPod and then distribute it.
We did that with Binding of Isaac. We put a Minecraft server on there that everybody could join and play. We did Counter-Strike and then also Halo. Put Halo on the computer, and we did some LAN parties at school.
I've also fell down the whale, because it was on sale. I picked it up, Civilization 5.
Yeah. 6 will be out soonish.
I know. I saw all the announcement trailers for, was it Teddy Roosevelt? It was one of the new leaders for America, which is neat. I like Civ 5,
looks beautiful.
I don't know if I'll ever finish more than 3 games. It takes me a week to get through a game, and I play it for 3 hours each time. Well, every time one of our videos are rendering, I just play Civ 5 for an hour. Because it can run in the background, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a super graphics heavy game, and you can turn them down because it doesn't matter. It's just as long as you can see the hexagons, that's all you need.
Exactly.
Have you played Civ 5 yet?
No, I haven't.
Totally recommend it. It's on sale right now. I think it's only like $14.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a really, really good deal. 6 is coming out soon.
I got 5
awesome.
for free when I got my laptop.
Nice. It's a solid game. I think we should all play it. I think we should have like a Cave Trolls match.
We would have fun playing.
But it would take like a week.
That's fine.
That's fine. And it's one of those things we can all come back to. We can play we'll set a rule, play 20 rounds, and then go.
And John will play with us too.
Oh yeah, John will totally play. Speaking of which, we need to call him, get more D&D stuff going on. If you like D&D, or if you like just watching two dudes talk in front of a table, check out our Cave Trolls Convo stuff. We have a fantasy series that are going up in the next couple weeks. We'll do one episode a week, and then we're going to be launching a couple of different other convos. So put in the comments what you guys want to see us talk about. We can have a little bit more random stuff going on. Just we could be naked talking on that couch for all that matters. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to you.
All right, no, it doesn't matter to me.
But we're back. Yeah, I know this one was a little bit low key, and you're probably bored to death hearing about Sony E3 conference 2 weeks after the fact.
And if you haven't totally given up on us, we'll have some little secret plugs that we're gonna throw in pretty soon. Some special things to watch out for.
Secret plugs?
Yeah, secret plugs.
I don't even know what that means, so it's got to be pretty secret. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what he's talking about. Do you know what he's talking about?
No, it's Jordan. He's probably gonna kill us on live YouTube feeds everywhere in a week.
Wild card.
And he's just been seeding it over the last couple of months. Like every time we talked about anything, he's just got a little card that says, "Oh, you will see you in hell."
I've been doing some one-man podcasts. I haven't put them
Have
up
you
yet.
been? I mean, that's another thing is I started doing a blog over there on Facebook in IO9, residentstevel.kinja, or you can check it out on IGN, and the full articles are up on Facebook as well.
When I say secret plugs, I don't mean secret plugs. I just mean they don't know about it yet, but just look out for some advertisements that we might be putting out soon.
Gotcha.
I don't know if we'll mention it now, but I'm just saying.
Exactly, and we'll pimp our other business ventures. If you need logos designed, we do all of that. Facebook ads, YouTube in general. If you have no one else to go to.
You need somebody to put some words in a box and call it a logo. That I'm your guy.
Exactly, and the other resident DM/GM, we create modules, and we have all of that up over on Craigslist and on other YouTube stuff. So message us on Facebook or our email at cavetrollscast@gmail.com.
Exactly. Like I said, secret plugs.
Secret plugs, yeah, totally. Ask us, you need a new character class created for 5th edition. We can do that because we don't sleep, because sleep is for the weak. And we're rich, and we are neither.
Nope.
We're both? Oh, we're poor and weak. I messed that up. Listen. I'm at Resident Stevel. He's at
Extraordinary.
And that's Jordan. I was pointing at Jordan. and Dave's at
David Tulgetske.
And we're at Cave Trolls Cast for Twitter and Gmail and Facebook and Instagram and Tinder and Foursquare and MySpace and
YouTube Red. Red to Blue.
Red to Blue. Left hand green. That was my right hand, wasn't it?
Yep.
Listen, we're the Cave Trolls, and we're out.
We'll mirror it.